Hello everyone, I'm Ihara. Do you remember the official auditions we held earlier? We asked players to share what they'd most like to see in Rise of Kingdoms. What commanders have you seen appear in the game? So I did a statistics back then. That's the list. You can see some weird commanders. There are a lot of weird ones. There are a lot of them, even in the game. Characters from legends or movies. All of them are included in this poll. You can see that even the protagonist of Assassin's Creed is included. But you can see that the poll they conducted actually. Or which commanders would you like to see appear in the game? It really did appear. Just like I mentioned before, there are William, King Arthur, and Gajamatas. Subutai, Baiki, even Qin Shi Huang appeared recently. But the commander he chooses doesn't necessarily mean the one with the most votes will appear. Because the top choice was actually Napoleon. But he didn't show up. David IV also received a high number of votes. He also didn't show up. Sun Zipi also received a high number of votes. I don't understand Sun Zipi. Because I've been talking about this for a long time, and it still hasn't been released yet. So I don't know when the official Sun Tzu will be released. But why am I bringing this up? Because the official event recently took place. But this is on the China server. New commander auditions have begun. Which new commanders would you like to see? You decide, okay? So the rules here are. They've introduced many popular Chinese commanders, such as the god of war Huo Qubing, Bai Qi, the god of killing, and recently they introduced Qin Shi Huang Yingzhang. So they see a lot of Chinese commanders. They all joined. And then they enriched the gameplay. So the rules for this event are as follows. They're launching a recruitment campaign. Which other Chinese commanders would you like to see in the game? Listen carefully. Chinese commanders, it doesn't include international characters, so if you're from Europe, Australia, or something like that, those commanders aren't included. And he also mentioned characters from ancient Chinese mythology. For example, Xingqian, the god of war in Chinese mythology. You can write it in your comments section. Xi Yu, the brutal demon god, etc. This is outrageous. The deadline for this event is. It's August 17th. But I'm recording on August 18th. So it's past the deadline. That just requires mentioning the commander's name and the reason for the recommendation. But he mentioned only one commander here. But I've read some of the comments below. Many people mention 2 or 3 commanders. So, there are 2 or 3 commanders. So, of course I'm counting them too. But I'm not sure if the official count will include them. It also says it must be a Chinese commander. If it's referring to other commanders, they're not included. Of course, I've included these commanders even though they're not Chinese. Okay, then we can see the comments here. Wow, that's a lot. Almost 200 comments. But I've recorded them all. So, if you can, please help me recover some of the damage. It's really not easy to record all this. You can see how long this is. I'm going to record them one by one. We've seen a lot of players asking for Li Shimin Tang Dynasty Emperor Yi's character. Did you see that? Li Shimin. He said that Li Shimin would be best designed as a cavalry unit. I've seen Li Shimin and Zhao Yun both hope to be designed as cavalry units. Then there's Dian Wei Cao Cao's powerful general. Dian Wei hoped to be designed as an infantry unit. Sun Tzu also hoped to be designed as an infantry unit. Of course, there were also some female generals. They did mention it. And there's also Sun Wukong, a figure from Chinese legend and mythology. So now I'll show you my own poll. You can see I'm really recording each one. But because so many people voted for Li Shimin, so many people are talking about Li Shimin. So I had no choice but to use this method to keep track. Just calculate the total number right away. Then slowly count them one by one. Slowly record them. You can see that there are actually quite a few commanders. Here are the commander types. The commander server has many more names than the international server. You can see the international servers in this row only, but the China servers are counted as rows 1, 2, and 3. Let's count them as rows 4, right? Because it's really long. So I'll count the total here for everyone to see. You can see the names and how many people chose them. As I just mentioned, Li Shimin was the most popular choice. He received 34 votes in total. 34 people chose Li Shimin, Emperor of the Tang Dynasty. 15 people chose Zhao Yun, a famous general from the Three Kingdoms period. I'd really like Zhao Yun to appear in the game. He's a very famous commander in the Three Kingdoms. And there are 15 votes here. He's also one of the 5 tiger generals. You can see Zhao Yun, Huang Zhong, and Zhang Fei here. Ma Chao also appears here. Because in Rise of Kingdoms, only Guan Yu appears. And the remaining 4 tigers haven't appeared in the game yet. If the 5 tiger generals could be assembled, I believe players would be very excited. Next is Han Xin, known as the military genius. Who was Han Xin? Han Xin was a military strategist with divine command. If he appeared in this game, I believe he could rival Zhu Liang. Next is Ye Fei, a famous general from the southern Song dynasty, known for his loyalty to his country. Still quite a lot. Also has 9 votes. Also includes Wei Qing, an outstanding military strategist and general during the Western Han dynasty. Of course, Wei Qing would have followed suit. Then I didn't expect it to be Zhu Di, emperor of the Ming dynasty. Zhu Di received more votes than Zhu Yuanzhang, the founding emperor of the Ming dynasty. Zhu Yuanzhang only had 2 votes. Zhu Di had 9 votes. Because Zhu Di was actually Zhu Yuanzhang's 4th child. So the disciple surpasses the master, right? That's the only way to put it. Then why is Zhu Yuanzhang here? I think Zhu Yuanzhang was quite powerful, because he had many careers. He used to be a beggar, then a monk, and then a soldier. Then he slowly leveled up. It's like how we level up in games. Becoming an emperor. I think it's pretty impressive. Of course, you can also see Sun Zipi here. But I think players on the China server don't have such high expectations for Sun Zipi. You can see that there are at least 25 votes on the international server, right? Isn't that right? But the China server only had 7 votes. It seems everyone's enthusiasm for him has faded. Of course, we also saw Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong also appeared in the voting. Liu Bang, the founding emperor of the Han dynasty. Single quotes as ... an ancestor? Liu Bang is Shang Yu's mortal enemy. Shang Yu has already appeared in the game. So it would make sense if Liu Bang were introduced later. But if Liu Bang does appear, I think he'll be designed as an infantry unit. Because Liu Bang ultimately defeated Shang Yu, so he should have been able to counter Shang Yu. But even if he could, he was already useless. Shang Yu doesn't have much of a role in the game. Of course, there's also Ma Chao, one of the 5 tiger generals. Liu Bei's vote count is pretty low, isn't it? But compared to the others, it's a lot. Then there's Shin Qiji, a poet and general from the southern Song dynasty. I don't really know who this commander is. First, let me state that to Chinese players, I'm considered a foreigner. I'm from Malaysia. So it's normal that I don't understand. Then I looked up Shin Qiji. Besides being a poet, he was also a general who fought against the Jin dynasty. I rarely see someone who can both fight and write poetry. It's mentioned here that at the age of 21, he led the imperial army to join the southern Song dynasty's fight against the Jin dynasty. Of course, there's also Wang Jian, who I believe everyone is familiar with. Who was Wang Jian? Okay, during the Qin dynasty, there were 4 great generals. These include Wang Jian, Bai Qi, Li Mu, and Lian Po. Known as the 4 great generals, but you can see Wang Jian, Li Mu, and Lian Po here. Actually, all of them appeared in this vote. It's just that Lian Po has fewer votes. Li Mu has 4 votes. Wang Jian has the most votes, with 6. Bai Qi has already appeared, so there's no need to write about him in this vote. So, personally, I quite like Wang Jian. Zhang Fei could also appear in the game. If Zhang Fei appears, I think his appearance would be quite similar to Shang Yu. Both have beards. I wonder how the official design will work. If it really does appear, then the one with the most votes will be counted as Zhang Fei's, right? Because there's so much more to come. Let me tell you about something a little weird. For example, El Bu P. Perhaps players really think the in-game El Bu is just awful. So they hope that if possible, the official remake of El Bu would be better. Because El Bu was a pretty powerful general in the Three Kingdoms period. Although he died quite early on. So if a redesign is possible, I think that would be pretty good. Let's see how the official side of the matter decides. Piification or redesign. Some players also mention Genghis Khan SP. And King Zhou, the last emperor of the Shang dynasty. Some of the more unusual ones are about Confucius, for example. Najah, did they go in to watch that movie? Najah was stunned. Then there's the foreigner, Mrs. Thatcher. And Marco Polo. Actually, these 2 aren't counted. Because they aren't considered Chinese commanders. Diao Chen Pi is here. Then there's the creation of the world, and Caillou appears. Then there's Pangu. And Nua. The players on the China server are truly imaginative. They can come up with such bizarre commanders. That's probably it. Dong Zhuo only had 1 vote, so pitiful. The Sony here doesn't refer to the Japanese company. AI's answer, Naheshali. He was a Manchu minister of the plain yellow banner during the early Qing dynasty. It's not a Japanese company. But according to the official statement, we'd like to solicit your opinions on the design of a new commander. I think it's very likely. The new cavalry or infantry we see next may feature a Chinese commander again. Because Chinese history is truly too long, there are many famous figures. Just looking at this image, you can see there's so much to design. He could have designed at least 20 generations of commanders, right? Maybe more than that. Perhaps even the 50th generation commander can be designed. Because there are still many characters he hasn't mentioned yet. so I'm also starting a collection. Data collection. Which Chinese commander do you prefer, or which other commander do you have in mind? Will it appear in the game? You can also let me know in the comments. That's all for this episode. If there are any omissions or errors, feel free to help me out in the comments. See you in the next video.